DonInLondon, hello. November 24th, my video is all about addiction and recovery. In my case, addiction to alcohol and being in recovery one day at a time. And if it hadn't been alcohol, I guess it would have been an addiction around people, places and things, collecting, feeling I needed to be perfect, trying to fit in, trying to be what you wanted me to be, and not really understanding who I was and who I was becoming. And the answer was, in all the days of drinking, I was ending up towards addiction and being very unhappy with life and unhappy with me. And what has happened to me? Well, I found sobriety one day at a time. And what has made that possible? Friends, family, community, health professionals kept me alive long enough to get to a place where I couldn't do it anymore. And I accepted, and I admitted and accepted, drink had got me beaten. And the rock bottom was alarmingly catastrophic in my case. So from being somewhere with a material life, although I don't actually value material life as such, is that right? I value my emotional and spiritual life, and I understand that I need a material life too. So I've got my order of priorities: emotional, spiritual well-being and physical well-being to the extent I can be, and enough of the material to keep life together, to live. Needs met, wants forgotten. So what made it possible? Being alive in the first place, as I explained. I went to a fellowship. That fellowship was AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, and AA has helped me understand how to live sober one day at a time. I don't speak for the fellowship. The fellowship is unique and authentic, and it's full of unique and authentic people who meet regularly in groups. And it's a strange organisation, or it's not even that really, it's topsy-turvy. What's important is the individual comes first in terms of their sobriety. The group is there to help support individual sobriety, and there are trusted servants who keep the fellowship together in terms of a loose organisation to publish literature and to have some, I guess, suggestions to hold to unity, service and recovery. So, yes, what is AA? I've got a little card here which describes exactly what AA is there to do. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. It's all about recovery. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. It does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And for me that's so important, because it is all about sober. So if we sort out our emotional and spiritual well-being on a daily basis to meet the challenges of today, then we have a chance to improve our living. It doesn't mean it's going to be wonderful all the time. All it means is we are able to deal with life on life's terms, happy or sad, without tragedy or with tragedy. We learn how to be ourselves and to keep on learning. And this whole thing of living one day at a time, you know, it's not about trying to build a future which might be a fantasy, but it doesn't stop us planning for the future. That's most important. We still need to plan something around our living, how to keep body and soul together, but the most important thing is to remain sober today, so we are on the first step of any plan we choose to make. And the first step of any plan is to know where you're headed, and often we just don't know in this world what's going to happen next. So living in the day is absolutely important, so we can respond as best we can to life changes, and life is always changing. So it's not about being stuck in one way, it's about changing constantly and being happy that there are changes going on. So the fellowship has taught me an awful lot about living in the moment, and so emotional, spiritual well-being are my priorities. If I know how I am feeling today, why, I can work out what to do about it. If I'm with other people, I can have empathy. How are we feeling? Why? And what can we do about it? And I share here from the Daily Reflections on AA Alcoholics Anonymous piece of literature, which I enjoy because it gives me a bit of food for thought around, in this case, November being all about prayer and meditation. How can it improve our conscious contact with reality and a higher power of your understanding? And it's always the higher power of your understanding which is important. My higher power is good conscience, truth, love and wisdom of others. The truth, not my opinion, because this isn't my video is really an opinion. It's the truth of what is happening for you now. Love, how to love, be loved and useful, and wisdom from others and what's around me, the brain I've got inside my head. It's not about thinking life my way, it's about living life as it is. So prayer and meditation are very helpful because it clears the minds and focuses us on what's important around our emotional, spiritual well-being, and the rest will follow. And for November 24th, 1 page a day, November all about prayer and meditation, it reads like this: a universal search. Be quick to see where religious people are right. Make use of what they offer. In other words, do not discount anything in this world. Find the wisdom in it. I do not claim to have all the answers in spiritual matters, any more than I claim to have all the answers about alcoholism, and that goes for me too, because there are different ways to get sober. There are others who are also engaged in a spiritual search, and my spiritual search is to be in the moment of now, to live now and learn from it. If I keep an open mind about what others have to say, I have much to gain. My sobriety is greatly enriched, and my practice of the 11th step more fruitful. In other words, prayer, meditation, reflection, and when I'm not sure, ask somebody about it. When I use both the literature and the practices of my Judeo-Christian tradition and the resources of other religions, thus I receive support from many sources in staying away from the first drink. So if I'm sober, I can then utilise, I don't mean use, I mean utilise all the resources around me to find the truth of now, to find out how to love, be loved and useful, and based on the wisdom of others and what I learn on a daily basis. So humility to keep on learning, that's what the 12 steps are about for me, to live in the moment of now. The greatest connection to spiritual living is reality. So we all learn our own way of understanding how the 12-step process works for us, because it does work in a unique, authentic way. As an individual, there is no collective, if you like, on how it should be in reality. We all experience our own reality of now, and there is common ground because where we have empathy, and that's to be sober first, so the rest of life can happen. And at the end of these videos, I share the serenity prayer to God or good conscience as you come to believe. So to God or good conscience, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is in the moment, and hopefully just for today.